Hey y'all, welcome back to Growing My Green Thumb. It's me, Kristen. You get to watch me grow my green thumb. And I'm actually seeing right over there by the camera, there is either a bumblebee or a carpenter bee or something. So if you get to see him, tell him hi. Oh, he's loving the plastic. He must see himself in it. Okay, so let's talk tomatoes. This is, I don't know, part 3 or so of my What Am I Growing This Spring from Seed series. I started all of these tomatoes. Some of them are different dates. These were started January 1st, and these little tiny ones here, they were started on Valentine's Day. And it's the end of February now, so we'll get to see how much everything has grown. I'll also show you where I got my seeds from and what varieties I'm growing as well. So let's get started. First, let's talk about what they're in. These are some 3-inch seed starting cells that I got from Amazon. They're about 2.5 inches wide and 3 inches deep. And as you can see, these tomatoes have been in here for 2 months. And the roots are not growing out of the bottom. They're not root bound. And I'm gonna pull this one out so you can see. They're getting to the point now where it's time to get them in the garden. See that? That looks pretty good. Now when I plant these, I will get rid of this bottom leaf here and I will plant it very deep up to here, because the cool thing about tomatoes, they'll grow roots all up this stem. So I'm gonna plant these deep. I might even plant them on their side and let them grow up that way. So let's talk about all the varieties I have here. So I did plant them 2 seeds per cell. I will end up thinning these out just because tomatoes don't really like to be crowded like that. But I tell you, I have a hard time cutting away a live plant. So might not be the right time, but is what I'm gonna do and see how it works. I'm gonna transplant them like this, and whatever one looks the best a week or 2 after transplant, I'll keep that one and I'll snip the other one. I will leave the whole root mass of the one that I snip away. I will leave all of that so as not to disturb anything, and those roots will just stay in the ground. That won't be an issue. So I have some rainbow tomatoes, some heirloom blends, and I'm going to show you all these seed packets too. Oh, so this is Florida 91. I have the seed packet right here. I planted all of these. I had only about maybe 10 seeds in this packet here. This says Johnny Naylor seed. It's Florida 91. I got this from my local nursery. The cool thing about Florida 91 is, hence the name Florida, this grows well when it's very, very hot outside. Tomatoes don't normally like to set flowers when it's very, very hot. When it gets up to 90 degrees, 100 degrees, they'll drop their flowers. When they drop your flowers, you don't have any fruit. So I bought these specifically to get these growing so that in the summertime, when it's very, very, very hot, June, July, August, I hope to still have some tomatoes growing on these. So these are doing pretty good. I have 4, 6, so I have 9 of these. The ones that are double seeded, I will snip one, so I'll end up with 6 plants. But these look very, very good. And look how tall they are. The stems are very nice and thick. They didn't grow leggy. I'll put a video a little bit later about my seed starting area, where I got the lights, how much it costs, all that kind of stuff. So stay tuned for that. Okay, so some of these, wow, check out this super thick stem. Can you see how thick that stem is? That's a nice sturdy one. Okay, so here I have yellow heirloom, Creole, and some red crinkle. So these I started on New Year's Day. So January 1st I started these, and it's the end of February. So these are 2 months old. and they're growing nice. These are ready once they're hardened off to go out into the garden. And I'll show you one more pack here, the big ones. So these are what they look like, 2 months old. This is interesting. So you can see how tall all of these are. These are yellow pear here. This is ruby gold here. But check out this. Look at these little guys. These are garden peach. These right here. They're tiny. I wonder if they got shaded out from the lights from all of this extra foliage above it. I'm not sure. Maybe they just grow slower. I don't know. But they're tiny. And they were seeded at the same time as all the rest. So that is the garden peach. And since I'm a seed addict, after I did all of these, this was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, so 5 sets of 6. I already had 30 tomato plants. I guess I decided I needed some more, so I made another seed order. And so here we have it. Here are the last of my new tomato seeds. So these have just were planted on Valentine's Day. So they're only a couple of weeks old. And you can see they're just getting started. And some of them actually haven't even germinated yet. The subarctic has not germinated yet, and the white tomacel has not germinated yet. But the blueberries, Kellogg's Breakfast, Agripoli, and Martino's Roma, they have all germinated. So let me show you what these seed packets look like and where I got all of these seeds. So I did say already, the Florida 91 I got from my local garden center. This is a Johnny Naylor seed. The Creole, so I did pick up a pack of Creole seeds at my local nursery just because I wanted to have like official seeds. So I wasn't confident in myself, but one thing I'm learning. So these here, these Creole seeds, y'all, you have to try this. We went to the store, the grocery store, and we found a Creole tomato, and I wanted the seeds. So what did I do? I cut open the tomato, I scooped the seeds out, tomato seeds to save them. You scoop them out, put them in a cup, and put them outside, away from where you're not going to smell this. Leave it outside for 3 days. Don't let it dry out though. You're going to scoop out the seeds and all of the juices that are with it. Put it outside for 3 days. Don't look at it. I mean, you can look at it if you need to stir it, but don't go smell it, because it's going to ferment. And fermenting things have an odor because, you know, it's bacteria. So they're going to ferment. Once they ferment, the little seed, I don't know what it's called. It's like a little jelly bleb around the seed that keeps it from sprouting. It's got a sprout inhibitor in it. That little jelly bleb will dissolve. It'll get fermented away, and that'll leave your seeds available to actually sprout whenever you plant them. So after 3 days or so of fermenting your tomato juice and seeds, you will rinse them, wash away any other debris that's still left in there, and set them out to dry. Once they're completely dry, at least 24 hours on like a paper plate or something like that. Actually put these on a paper towel, but the paper towel did kind of stick to it. So a paper plate would work well, or maybe like a cardboard box, something that it won't, it's a little bit stronger and it won't stick to. Once they're all the way dry, then you can scoop them up and put them in an envelope. I put them in a paper envelope first to make sure they were all the way dry, and then I ended up transferring it into this Ziploc bag labeled Creole tomato. So these are my own seeds that I saved from a store-bought Creole tomato, and they did germinate. And these that are germinated here, this was from the fall, and my plants are actually right over there. I have 3 of them that survived. They survived the winter, and so I'm hoping for an early crop of Creole tomatoes from these seeds that I got for free from my grocery store after I bought a tomato there. So try it out, y'all. You'll be surprised. I did this a couple other times too. So this is a yellow heirloom tomato, also from the grocery store. And this is from Whole Foods. It was an heirloom. An heirloom is important too, y'all. You need an heirloom or open pollinated variety if you want to get fruit that's true to that variety. So these are heirlooms that I'm talking about here. So this is just a red crinkly heirloom tomato, and y'all, if you've ever gone to Whole Foods or one of those other whole paycheck organic type grocery stores and tried to buy some heirloom produce, you know it can be $5 a pound sometimes. So if you get this really nice, beautiful tomato, you better enjoy it because it's going to be $5. And so when I came home with this $5 tomato, I said I have to try to save these seeds. And so I did. And what I think, I'm hopeful, that tomato I keep showing y'all that I tried to overwinter, that nice green one with the crinkles on it that's not ripe yet. Watch my first video, the post-freeze garden tour. That tomato, I think, is this one. And I will be so excited if that ripens up to a true dark red, almost purpley, crinkly. I don't know the variety name. All I know is that it said heirloom, and it was a red crinkly tomato from, you know, whole paycheck. So here are the seeds. I have some more of that growing in here. Let's see what else I got. So from Fairy Morse, I have yellow pear. These did pretty good for me last season too. Now these two here, these died in the freeze, I think. Though I do have one over there that I'm not sure, and some over there. I'm not sure the varieties because I didn't have my trusty garden marker. See my last video for my garden marker. I didn't have my trusty garden marker. I was using a permanent marker, and y'all, don't use a permanent marker. Even if they say that it's for extreme conditions in UV light, I haven't found that it works. So get a garden marker. I got it off of Amazon. Check out my last video for what it looks like. And it's like $6. I'm hoping that this works. So I lost my tags for those tomatoes over there. So this is Ruby Gold Bicolor from Fedco Seeds, and this is Garden Peach Tomato from Fedco Seeds. So I'm hoping for some good ripe tomatoes from these, and we'll see how those taste. I do have an heirloom mix because variety is so awesome, and you never know what kind is going to survive your temperature and your humidity here, what is going to produce early, what is going to produce late. I want to extend my harvest season because I love to eat tomatoes. I'll eat them all year long, even in the winter. I actually just had a salad for lunch from some tomatoes that I had to buy at the store, and they're just not as good as homegrown. So this is a rainbow blend from Fairy Morse. I planted this last year too. They did okay. I think I do have that cherry tomato that survived the storm. I'm pretty sure that's one of these. Okay, so let's get to my addiction. Y'all know I love Baker Creek Rare Seeds, mostly because their pictures are so beautiful and their seeds germinate so well. So I had to go buy just a few more. Oh, and another thing about Baker Creek, y'all. See what this says? Free seed. When you buy from Baker Creek, as a thank you, they'll send you a pack of free seed. So as you can see, I made several orders. So I have this white tomacel tomato. I'll be trying this out first time this year. So thank you, Baker Creek, for the free seed. Let me show you what else I chose. A Grape de Inverno. Okay, y'all tell me if that's right. It's a winter grape tomato, and it's great for snacking. It's really pretty. Martino's Roma. This is a determinate variety. So determinate varieties, y'all, this means that it'll grow and it'll produce flowers and it'll produce fruit, and then that'll be it. All of your fruit will grow and ripen at the same time. So once you've harvested all of that fruit, that tomato plant is done. So these will be good for like successive plantings, or if you just really need a lot of tomatoes at one time, like if you're gonna can, make some tomato sauce or something like that. These types are good for that, these determinate, especially the aromas. Kellogg's breakfast. Okay, so I first heard of this one. This is an heirloom variety. See that there? It looks really, really pretty. It said you can get 1 pound tomatoes from this. It's a beefsteak type, and it's an heirloom originating in West Virginia. So I first heard of this one from Callie Kim on YouTube. So hey Callie Kim, hey girl. Thank you for the suggestion for this. I'm gonna grow this year, and I hope to have a great review on it like you did. She said this was like a superb tasting tomato. So when I saw this available, I said I have to get that. Let me talk about this one first. So subarctic plenty tomato. This one hasn't germinated yet. I just put this in the ground in the little seed tray here on Valentine's Day. But this one here, I got this one because it says it is the very earliest tomato. It produces just small 2-ounce fruits, and it likes cool conditions. And so I was hoping that since it says it's a very early tomato, that I could get an early harvest off of this one. And since it says it likes cool conditions, I could also grow some for my fall garden and hopefully get some fruit into the winter time too. So that's one of the things I was really, really craving this season, is some more tomatoes in the fall and winter time. And last but not least, I had to get this one because of how beautiful they are. This is Blueberries Tomato. It says it's amethyst blue cherries, and they turn a deep red when they're shaded. They grow in elongated clusters, and they yield all season. So this sounds awesome. And they're so beautiful. Look at that imagery. Thanks, Baker Creek. So, how many tomatoes was that? Yeah. So I have 30 tomatoes. I don't know where I'm gonna put them all, but I'll find a place. I'll show y'all how I plan to, how I'm gonna do the Texas weave. I've got some stakes I'm gonna drop in, and some jute twine. I'm gonna wind around, and that's how I'm gonna trellis these tomatoes. So that'll be another video, so stay tuned for that. I do have another seed tray or so for the next episode in my spring 2021 What I'm Growing from Seed series. So stay tuned for that next video. Thank y'all for watching me, Kristen, at Growing My Green Thumb, where you will get to see me grow my green thumb. See you in the next video.